Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Logic Media. So glad you could stop by and spend just a few minutes of your time with me today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe is very important because I don't have that many. I need more. I need a lot more. I really appreciate, like I said, for you all coming by and spending just a few minutes of your time. And I'm going to do a reaction video today. The guy I have on, the video I have on is, his name is Benny Johnson of The Benny Show on YouTube. The man is really good. He's got 1.9 million subscribers, so he's really good at what he does. But this video is going to be about the tyrannical judge and the tyrannical prosecutor up in New York, Alvin Bragg and Judge Merchant. They're tyrants is what they are. And by the end of this video, I'm sure you'll agree with me. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Benny's YouTube channel as well. I'm sure that he'll appreciate it. So let's get to it. Let me move this down a little bit. And here we go.
Stop making fun of me. I'll put you in jail.
Lay down right here. Do it. Do it. Come on, sweetie. Do it.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. In case you wonder if you're on the good side or the bad side, it's the bad side that would stop a father from going to his young son's high school graduation, and that's exactly what these complete lunatics and monsters, depraved demons in New York are doing.
They're the pure devil.
The judge in Donald Trump's trial has not only threatened his arrest if he disrupts the trial or if he misses any date.
Y'all listen to this.
Of the trial. I've never heard of anything like that. But now he's also threatening to stop Trump from attending Barron Trump's high school graduation. This is going to backfire huge. American people are sick of this Marxist tyranny. Judge Merchant, Democrat activist, warns of arrest if Trump disrupts or skips hush money trial. In case you're wondering if the entire system has been turned on Trump, here it is. New York Judge Juan Merchant on Monday warned former President Donald Trump that he could be arrested if he disrupts the proceedings or skips the trial. Okay. Prosecutors claim Trump violated his gag order. Trump faces 34 felony charges for allegedly falsifying business documents stemming from a hush money payment to former adult film star Stormy Daniels, which she denied, which Trump denied, which everyone has denied. And so now they're going to stop Donald Trump from going to his son's high school graduation. Barron won't forget this, and neither will we.
Let me remind you guys, this charge they have on him now, it's 8 years old. There's a thing called statute of limitations, and this is a misdemeanor charge that they turned into a felony. They're trying to turn it into a felony. They're using everything that they can. It's all, like I say, it's election interference, and they're doing their best to keep Trump off the campaign trail. But it's not going to work. No worries.
Yeah, they are truly, truly evil people.
Evil.
An important reminder that, of course, the judge is a Democrat activist. His family are Democrat activists. The judge donated to Joe Biden. His daughter worked for Kamala Harris. So what else do you need to see? Donald Trump outside of the courthouse talking about what he's going to do, saying that the judge had better put me in jail, right? I say Donald Trump should call his bluff. Go to Barron's graduation. He doesn't have the balls to put him in jail. Put Trump in jail. Do it.
Put him in jail.
This is what Donald Trump had to say outside of the trial when he got the one rare chance to speak to the media today.
So thank you very much. We had some amazing things happen today. As you know, my son has graduated from high school, and it looks like the judge will not let me go through the graduation of my son, who's worked very, very hard. He's a great student. Very proud of the fact that he did so well. And I was looking forward for years to have graduation with his mother and father there. And it looks like the judge isn't going to allow me to escape this scam. It's a scam trial. If you read all of the legal pundits, all of the legal scholars today, there's not one that I see that said this is a case that should be brought or tried. It's a scam. It's a political witch hunt. It continues, and it continues forever. And we're not going to be given a fair trial. It's a very, very sad thing. In addition, as you know, next Thursday, we're before the United States Supreme Court on a very big hearing on immunity. And this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. And the judge, of course, is not going to allow us. He's a very conflicted judge. And he's not going to allow us to go to that. He won't allow me to leave here for a half a day, go to D.C. and go before the United States Supreme Court.
He has the Supreme Court deciding on immunity for president on Thursday. They want the judge in this case now won't even let him go for a half a day. Nonetheless, he wouldn't let him go to see his son's graduation. How pathetic. How tyrannical can you be? I mean, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it.
Court, because he thinks he's superior, I guess, to the Supreme Court. And we got a real problem with this judge. We have a real problem with a lot of things having to do with this trial, including the DA, because you go right outside and people are being mugged and killed all day long, and he's sitting here all day with about 10 or 12 prosecutors.
I just said that a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Over nothing. Over nothing. Over what people say shouldn't be a trial. So I just want to thank you very much, but that I can't go to my son's graduation, or that I can't go to the United States Supreme Court, that I'm not in Georgia or Florida or North Carolina campaigning like I should be. It's perfect for the radical left Democrats. That's exactly what they want. This is about election interference. That's all it is.
Election interference. All this whole thing is about is keeping him off the campaign trail, keeping him in that courtroom as long as they possibly can. This trial is going to go on for a month, maybe 2 months. And that's all it's about, is to keep him off that campaign trail for as long as they can, while Biden is in Pennsylvania campaigning, stumbling over his words like he always does, and Trump is stuck in a courthouse. That's all it's about is the 2024 election.
That's about. Thank you very much.
Donald Trump's chief political advisor, Jason Miller, saying what a disgusting thing the Biden trial has become. Not even letting the president attend his son's high school graduation. Nothing but a political attack. He's going to miss Barron's graduation. Barron will be less forgiving than his father. Barron Trump is 8 feet tall, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Trump saying one person is truly heartless for not letting a father attend his son's graduation. That is a fact. This has been really, really fascinating day for takes, including a guy named Jonathan Turley, who's a legal advisor on Fox, who does a great job, and he really broke down what this trial is and the insanity of it. We looked into it ourselves. It's wild. Watch.
Is this one?
Okay, guys, this guy's name is Jonathan Turley. He's a constitutional lawyer. He's a very, very smart man. Y'all listen to the exact words what he has to say, and I'll chime in a few. I can't keep my mouth shut. Just as mad as anybody. But anyway, here we go.
In court. Well, there's a novel question, John. I'm not sure. I mean, this is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony and zapped it back into life. So many of us are just amazed to watch this actually walk into court, because it's not a recognizable crime that any of us have seen. It does not appear to be a federal crime, but that's the theory that Bragg is using. So to go into the Wayback Machine, this state misdemeanor died because of the statute of limitations. Then what Bragg said was, well, I'm going to allege that you did false filings on business records to hide a crime. But he was very ambiguous what that crime might be. He still is ambiguous. But it is assumed to be a federal election crime. The problem is the federal government doesn't view it as a crime. They decided not to prosecute, and most election experts say that this is the type of thing that's failed in the past. So this bizarre indictment is now going to be an equally bizarre trial. And to this day, there's some confusion as to Bragg's actual theory as to what was the exact crime that Trump was hiding from.
There was no crime at all.
From all this.
All right. This is what the Wall Street Journal said about Bragg trying to bootstrap this up to a federal felony. He said, quote, 7 months before the 2024 election, it's a trial that shouldn't happen in a case Mr. Bragg shouldn't have brought. The Stormy affair was sordid business, but the DA's argument is a legal stretch in ways that might bother a skeptical juror or an appeals court. So they're in jury selection for probably the next couple of weeks or so. Will the prosecution find jurors that are favorable to its case, or do you think jurors have already made up their minds to say, as you have said, why the heck is this even in court?
Well, look, this is the worst jury pool that Trump could pull unless you just took everyone at the DNC headquarters. I mean, it is as bad a pool as you can get. Now, that doesn't mean that they throw up their hands. They're not going to try to find someone who likes Trump. That's just, there's not many people available to fit that description in Manhattan. What they're looking for is someone who is independent, maybe a little feisty. You're going to have jury advisors there, looking for people that have great conviction and confidence. They may dislike Trump, but you want people who like the law more. And that's what you're really looking for. You're also looking for what I call a Trojan juror. These are jurors who will lie to get into a high-profile case. Yes. And
they're going to lie to get in a high-profile case, so in the future, if this case goes the way the DNC and all the corrupt judges and prosecutors want, the jurors can write a book and make millions. But I hope they don't. I know they look forward to it, but it ain't going to happen. This trial is going nowhere. All it is to buy time to keep Trump off the campaign trail.
They'll be hiding within them bias and past conduct that they won't reveal. That you can often find out through social media. So there's a lot of work that's going to have to be.
Also, to be noted, we had Donald Trump's attorney on our program earlier today, Alina Habba, and she had this to say about the trial and the ongoing proceedings. Donald Trump has said on Truth Social he'd be happy to run for president from prison, and he thinks it'd make him Nelson Mandela. Yeah. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
He's told me that. Yeah, he's told me that. He said it's like Nelson Mandela. You know, he's not wrong. The one time he said it to me actually was I was in court, and I remember him saying the same thing. And, you know, he says that, and he means it. I think he is the victim of political prosecution, and selective prosecution is what we call it legally. And, you know, that's when you target somebody because you don't like what they stand for, or you target them because they're your opponent in some regard or a threat to you. And that is what is happening. How can you say it's not? The fact that this particular case was not brought, Benny, and then he decides to run and they bring it. There's a book of a prosecutor who worked in a firm that works with the Clintons and the DNC. There is a book by that prosecutor who has left his law firm to go work for the DA just to bring this case. And when they wouldn't bring the case, when Cy Vance would not bring this case against President Trump, he quit in outrage, wrote a book, and said how angry he was because he wanted them to bring this case, but Michael Cohen was discredited. So then what happens? Bragg comes in, President Trump says, I'm running for office, and they bring the case, and they indict, and rush a trial for this month before November. I've had cases sitting in New York for 3 years that have not had motions heard. 3 years. Wow. No motions heard. but these cases somehow get fast-tracked. It's crazy.
What's your over/under on the jury pool here? Because these juries are absolutely ratchet.
Ratchet.
Yeah, and I just don't have a lot of hope. And the reason why, no legal expert here, but we've just been covering OJ's death, and there were all these jurors in OJ's death that have now come forward. They're very old, and they're saying, no, we knew he killed everyone.
But they like Al Sharpton or whoever it was.
Right, that's right. I mean, they're now admitting it. We just made sure he wouldn't go to jail because racism or something, right? Like, because we just didn't care. We wanted to protect him and destroy this person's life, right? Protect this person and destroy this person's life. And if you're gonna go to trial in New York, I mean, what are the chances of that with Trump?
You know what happened to me. So, the truth is these jurors are human beings. They have biases. And what was troubling in this case is that while we're doing jury selection starting today, one of the things that the judge here, Judge Mershon, would not allow us to ask was whether or not they voted for a Republican or a Democrat, whether or not they voted for President Trump, whether or not they work for the Biden administration.
Hey, since they're talking about jurors, you know what? All it's going to take is that 1 or 2 jurors out of 12 to make this thing come out as a hung jury. Like I said, you guys, this trial is going nowhere. All it is to buy time and stop Trump from campaigning. That's all it's about.
There's people that when I was doing the jury selection in the Carroll case, were working currently for the Biden campaign, and I didn't want those people sitting on a jury for President Trump. And but you have the right to ask those questions. Now, this judge has eliminated many of those questions. You're not allowed to ask who they voted for. You can ask what news they watch. But I watch CNN and I watch Fox because I like to know what my opposition's saying. So it doesn't tell you what the status is. Now, when you're sitting with a president and a current nominee for the GOP and you can't ask how you vote, you're shot in the foot right there. And you're in New York, which is a predominantly blue state. So, that hindrance in itself is problematic just from the get-go.
I just want to really I know we're short of time, but I really want to pin this down. You're telling me that the judge would allow somebody who's actively working for Joe Biden's presidential campaign to be on this jury pool?
Well, that happened to me. I mean, of course. I had arguments with the judge about it and saying, I wanted this person out, and I got them off the jury pool, but it was tough. The judge said, well, I will never forget it. If you'd have it your way, you'd have all Republicans. I said, well, I'm his lawyer, of course. I mean, that's my job as a lawyer is to make sure that I get the absolute best jury pool I'm going to get. And by the way, don't think that the DA team isn't going to do the exact same thing. They're going to try and get the best jury pool they can. And in New York, for them, it's going to be much easier.
Wow. So there we have it.
Trying to reach the green from here, shooter?
That's not possible, sir.
They differ.
There we have it, y'all. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. It's pretty informative. You know what I was thinking about that one day that Trump had off and he went to Harlem, and I'll tell you what, they wasn't expecting that. Trump is a genius when it comes to how to play this game they're trying to play with him. He's going to win. He's a master chess player, and he's out on the streets in Harlem, going to that convenience store where that guy got killed. But he's a master at playing the game that they want to play. But he's going to win it for sure. But that's the end of this my video today. And again, I want to tell each and every one of you thank you so much for stopping by and spending a few minutes of your time with me today. Is really appreciated. Don't forget to look for Benny's YouTube link in my description in my video, and like and subscribe to his channel. And also, please, if you don't mind, like my channel and subscribe. Please subscribe. I need subscribers, y'all. Come on, help me out. I appreciate it. And much love. God bless. And as I always say at the end of my video, you are valued way more than you know. God bless. Bye-bye.